1517, France. Leonardo da Vinci, the genius behind inventions like early-day planes, helicopters, and tanks, is living under the patronage of King Francis. He'd spent his days developing war machines and other flying mechanical contraptions for the king. But one day, suddenly, out of thin air, an object falls from the sky, an AK-47. Da Vinci picks it up, baffled by its complexity and sleek features. A shiny wooden stock, small metal components devoid of any imperfections, and internal parts reminiscent of a complex clock. He'd spent his time tinkering with it, and soon enough figures out exactly how it works, at the cost of a couple broken windows. He shows it to King Francis, claiming it's his own invention, but when asked how he made it, Da Vinci shrugs and says a gust of wind blew all of his schematics into a fireplace. A clever excuse, and much easier than explaining what really happened. Still, the king believes him, and now, France has a weapon hundreds of years ahead of its time. To any army of 16th century Europe, this rifle would look like divine power, a musket that can shoot faster than the eye could blink and accurately take down soldiers from hundreds of meters away. The terror alone would likely force surrounding nations to back off of France's borders. But there's still one huge problem. While the AK-47 is known for being simplistic in today's world, it's still way too advanced for Renaissance-era metallurgy. Creating the miniature springs and the rifling in the barrel just simply cannot be done. Okay, well, not all hope is lost. What about the ammunition? One gun is all they'd really need, considering that they can last for hundreds of thousands of rounds. Once they're out of their 30 rounds of modern ammunition, they'd need to find a way to make their own from scratch. Which is a lot easier said than done. Even if they found a way to replicate the brass shell casings, primers, and bullets, they still only knew of one type of explosive, black powder, which is severely underpowered compared to modern gunpowder and produces a lot of soot inside the gun. If a modern AK-47 bullet were loaded with black powder, it would certainly still shoot, but it wouldn't be nearly as powerful and would need to be cleaned very often. But for curiosity's sake, let's be generous and assume that France quickly develops a way to recreate this ammunition with black powder. Even with underpowered ammunition, just having the gun would definitely change the world's view of France. The king could use it as a symbol of power. Imagine, it's demonstrated in front of rival nations as a fear tactic, a single pebble-sized piece of copper and lead shredding through multiple layers of armor. Or it can be used in coordinated attacks to pick off high-value targets from a distance. So, would this make France a superpower? Well, probably not. On the battlefield, a single rifle can't really turn any tides. Against thousands of soldiers, this thing stands no chance. With no way to replicate it, it would have to remain as a one-of-a-kind relic. It would accelerate Europe's interest in firearms, however. Muskets were already the coolest new toys at the time. But now, nations would be obsessed with finding ways to rebuild France's wonder weapon. It would push weapons research ahead by literal centuries, leading to other attempts at repeating muskets, and improved metallurgy techniques being discovered way before they would have been otherwise, essentially turning Europe into a modern-day Texas. So, in conclusion, no, France can't conquer the world with a single AK-47. However, the innovation that would ensue merely from its existence would certainly change history dramatically.